There is something so deeply profound on the healing journey that we all go through. It's a journey of reclaiming and a journey of remembering. And one of the most profound journeys, especially once you get a little bit older, is your journey back to your authenticity, because that's when we go inside again and we find that little girl or we find that little boy, and we learn to coexist together. We come together in a place of safety and authenticity, and we teach that little one inside that it is okay to be ourselves, and that some of the behaviors and the learned responses that we had to have as a kid, they served us in those moments. 100% they did. We needed to assimilate, we needed to get into society, we needed to learn social skills, and we needed to, go through all of the conditioning and the programming, and we all developed an attachment style, which of course there are so many people in the mental health industry teaching and discussing different attachment style theories, and you can go take a deep dive into which one you are. And it's about getting yourself out of survival and coming back into your authenticity, because as a young child going through life, we lose our authenticity in order to survive. And as we age and become a little bit older, a little bit more grounded, a little bit wiser, and we want to shift something in our life or transform something in our life, change anything in our life, we have to be able to have an awareness of what are the things within me that are blocking me or keeping me stuck, or what are the patterns, right? We're always looking for the pattern. We're always looking for, what is it that I've been repeating over and over again in my life when it comes to my relationships, or how I keep abandoning myself, or how I keep people pleasing. I smile when I would really love to cry, or I say yes when I would just really love to say fuck no, right? It's like, where are the patterns in your life? And that's the place to start, because those are survival mechanisms. That's based out of conditioning, and it doesn't define you forever. You can change that, and you change that by first becoming aware of it, becoming conscious of it, really accepting this part of yourself, because you'll notice that the stars, how beautiful and bright and magnificent they are, they only exist in the darkness. We are the yin and the yang. We are the shadow and the light. We are the earth and the water. Like, we are the fire and the ether, and like, we are all of it. It's not a journey of, how do I want to say this? My career as a coach and as a consultant was always about helping people achieve their full potential, live their dreams, live at their highest potential, go out there and go after those things that you've always wanted. And I loved that career. I loved it. But over the years, I became wiser. I dove deeper into myself, into my clients, and into just my presence, and into my trust in life and my trust in myself. And I started to understand that it's not about the full potential. It's about wholeness. It's about remembering. And when you start living authentically and you start doing the work, the inner work, because the only way to get through this stuff is to be in it, is to come inside. When you start that, it's like this beautiful unfolding happens where you accept who you are, where you are, what you are, how you are. There's no more shaming or guilting or blaming or pointing fingers or being depressed or sad or anxious about anything. It's just this very deep, profoundly happy and sad moment where you smile and cry at the same time, because you're like, oh my gosh, there I am. I finally see it. And so that journey within, that journey to the wisdom of your soul, is about who is that little girl that's been suppressed, all those emotions, all those times where You wished you had the courage to say something or do something differently, but literally your nervous system and your neurology and your programming was just like, whoa, I need to keep doing this to be safe, right? We need to teach ourselves, remember, relearn for ourselves that we can be safe and we can be ourselves and we can be whole, because it really is a return to wholeness, and it really is honoring and accepting and being aware of these unhealed emotions and unhealed wounds where we have this inner energy that's stuck or blocked or kind of holding us in a pattern, right? So maybe your little one, your inner girl, your inner boy, maybe you had to learn to suppress your intuitiveness. Maybe you had to learn, to not be as playful or not be as sensual or not be as creative or loud or emotional, or to not be as free as you were. You had to suppress all of those things. You learned to suppress those things. And in that suppressing, that's where there was a fracture, right? That's where you fractured, you divided yourself, you took yourself away unknowingly, but the body's so smart, it's like, I'm going to make it down here, so I'm going to do this. You cut yourself off from your soul. And we're not meant to live without our soul. In fact, if you take a look around the world right now, there's chaos ensuing everywhere, truly because of a lack of soul and a lack of connection to the truth of who you really, truly are. And so we have to surrender, and we have to be willing to go through the things that we've pushed down. We have to be willing to really look at our fears of rejection, right? We really need to look at integrating all of who we are. Again, think of the stars in the sky, the light and the dark. The dark isn't any worse or different than the light. They're both you. The wholeness is you, right? So it's like the things that you've pushed down into your shadow, that's where we shine the light. That's why we are star beings here on the planet. We are the light, but we're not the light for out there. For like that comes after you bring your light in here, inside of yourself, to really go back into, and not spend your whole life here, obviously, but like go back into the parts and pieces of yourself that have fractured, that you've pushed away or dismissed or suppressed or repressed or depressed. We have a huge depression issue happening around the planet. Everyone's depressed. Well, of course you're depressed. You've cut yourself off from your soul. How could you not be? It's a soulful depression, right? It's like a spiritual depression, and we're really in this place right now of returning, right? We're really in this place of you being able to say to yourself, hey, I see you. I see the wholeness of myself. I see the brilliance of myself. And this isn't anything for you to go, push onto anyone else. This is just your own, like, humble, inner, beautiful, messy, awesome journey, because this is the point. This is the reason we're all here. We're all going through a returning, a remembering, a waking up. We're all coming back into the wholeness of who we are. And, we're all at different phases along the journey, and that's okay. That we can create compassion and empathy and space and kindness for other people, right? But we always have to just remember that we have this thing called free will. So you have to take control of your free will for you. It's like that old saying, right? Like, instead of trying to go out there and change the world, just change yourself, right? Heal yourself. You are your own healer. It sounds ridiculous when you're hurting and you're in pain and you're seeking, to get out of suffering, and you're looking for an answer externally all over the place in the world, when the first place we have to be willing to look is, do I even like myself? Can I actually say that I love myself and accept myself just as I am, and mean it and not just let it be lip service. So returning to the true self is really a journey of like stripping away everything that does not belong to you. It's things that we've picked up through our conditioning and through our programming and through our upbringing and through multiple experiences that we've had in our life that don't define you. They don't define us, right? So we have to unlock our own gifts. And yes, of course, there are guides and mentors and books and people and workshops and things that you will come across that will help you, but you will notice that the true beauty of the real stuff that helps you is all about empowering you to go back into yourself for yourself, to heal yourself. No one can do this for you. Even though we're called a healer, we're not a healer. We are our own healer. We are a guide, right? We have walked this path. We have gone through the valleys. We have lived through and made it through many waves of ascension. And we're here and we're still in form and we are in service to help you. But our job isn't to heal you. It's to guide you. It's to be the navigator with you as you go through these uncharted waters in the territory of your soul, in the remembering and in the returning of your authentic, aligned, beautiful self, where you really do create a life that you love, absolutely love living, because you are co-creating it with the source, because you're no longer disconnected. So it's a full loop, right? It is the infinity, never ending, always cycling back into and around and into and around and into and around itself. We're just riding this beautiful wave, this endless wave, and it's a wave that is inwardly towards yourself so that you reconnect and stop disconnecting from the truth of who you really are. So that's all I have to say today. And until we meet again, I wish you well, and I send you so much love from my heart to yours.